A warm welcome to TBC News Bulletin tonight, today being the 19th of June 2023. But first, our top stories tonight. Government allocates billions for JKCI expansion. Incredible potentials of Tanzania's graphite. Good evening, I'm Agnes Tuniga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. In improving the health sector, the government has allocated 3.6 billion Tanzanian shillings for the expansion of the Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute, JKCI, in Dar es Salaam. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Saif Shekalage, says the move is part of the government's plans to improve health services throughout the country. Here's the report by Spora Mwangomola, read by Lulua Mohammed.
It is in the inspection of the expansion of the Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute, JKCI building, which will intending to increase services to treat non-communicable diseases, including heart, diabetes and hypertension. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Saif Shekalage, explains the government's plan to continue to advance the health sector.
Kilichoonekana hapo awali ni kwamba baada ya kujenga hii taasisi kumekuwa na ongezeko la mahitaji.
What was seen before building this institution is that there is an increase in demand because the non-communicable disease have been increasing a lot. And because of this service, there's a great work being done by Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute. By being able to provide information to many citizens, they are motivated and able to check their health.
And the JKCI Executive Director, Dr. Peter Kisenge, assures Tanzanians that the expansion of the building will improve timely services, while some of the beneficiaries have something to.
This building has reached 71%, and once it is completed, the patient will benefit a lot because they are waiting for echo test for longer than 4 hours, especially for those undergoing surgery. We used to take a very large heart test before surgery. The installation that will be set up here are large and will take a very short time. It will make it easier for us because you can enter the old buildings and find that they have written that the service is within 4 hours. If it exceeds that, you are allowed to file a complaint.
Expansion of this building, we also believe that the president will bring good doctors so that people with heart problems will get good services.
The building with 5 floors is expected to be completed in August this year, and it will serve more than 200 patients and is expected to serve more for medical tourism.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Investment, Industry and Trade, Dr. Harshil Abdallah, says government will continue to invest in the system of units in the health sector by ensuring that the measurements meet international standards. He made the affirmation in Dar es Salaam during the regional conference on metrology as the world prepares to mark the World Metrology Day. Rehema Sebabili has more details.
Speaking during the regional conference on metrology that was held in Dar es Salaam, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Industry and Trade, Dr. Sector, to enable citizens to focus on various key development activities.
Objectives, again, of this conference, apart from making awarenesses, is to impart knowledge to those people dealing with measurements and standards. The ultimate result of it is to improve the quality of goods, the quality of products made in Tanzania. By so doing, that will increase regional recognition, international recognition of our products, and as such will have a direct impact to our export rate. And the export once being more than the import, our balance of trade will be in a positive way.
On his part, the Director General of the Tanzania Bureau aims at recognizing the importance of health in boosting the country's income and focus on providing education to important stakeholders in the health sector and help to improve the measurement used in various health institutions in the country.
In this conference, discussing and sharing ideas and sharing knowledge in metrology, particularly in the health sector. That's why we are here gathering here on this particular very important conference on metrology in health. Health is very important, as I said, or has been said already. Health is important in the economies of our countries, and therefore, that's why we have decided to start with health. But as I said, metrology covers, is a strong pillar, is a pillar in all, quality infrastructure.
Furthermore, the General Manager of the Standards Organization in Kenya, Engineer Josephat Bangi, notes, among other things, the conference will ensure East African countries have standardized measurement.
We plan as a region to ensure that we develop our metrology system. Metrology is the science of measurement and measuring instruments. So equipment, training, skills, and infrastructure. Tunahitaji, we need wood infrastructure, we need equipment, we need the laboratories, we need the wood training and the procedures and the regulations in place.
Once the Metrology Act is enacted by it will boost the trade within the EAC region, because all the EAC region, they will have to harmonize their regulation. They are supposed to adopt and to use that act. So this one will enable to have a unique regulation within the EAC, which will enable cross-border trade.
This year's conference includes 7 countries aiming to jointly discuss various challenges of measurement in those countries. Reporting from Dar es Salaam,
Teko says graphite mining will commence in Namangale in Mtama Council, Lindi region soon after the assessment exercise, which is expected to start early in September this year, is completed. Here's the report prepared by Asheri Chilewa, read by Apasia Ringo.
The Minister for Mines, Dr. Doto Biteko, assures the residents of Namangale in Mtama Council, Lindi region, that the government still intends to start the graphite mining in the area as soon as possible, but in coordinated manner.
The valuation that was done in 2018 cannot have the same value because the price of the land has gone up, so a new valuation must be done, and we have agreed that it will start in the last quarter of the year. When we finish in December, we will start paying a compensation so that next year we can start the construction of the mine. Here in the Lindi region, there are those 8 research licenses. Some are application and others are being revived. I am directing the Minerals Commission that those licenses should not be issued first until these 2 mining licenses start working.
The Mtama Member of Parliament, who is also the Minister of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Nape Nauye, directs the citizens not to sell their land, instead to unite and work together for their development.
If you fight, you will destroy our development. We need to stick together. If someone comes here, we should sit down and talk to him and move forward. Because of this development, many people from outside the country will come for investment. So don't sell your land arbitrarily.
The place is reported to have an estimated 400 tons of graphite as the world looks for cleaner energy. Solutions demand for graphite increases many folds day by day as the material is used in producing electric batteries. By 2030, the demand of graphite will increase by 3 times, making Lindi one of the strategic places in the world.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Dr. Stergomena Tax, has met and bid farewell to 3 ambassadors who were representing their countries in Tanzania after finishing their tenure of service. Apasia Ringo has more details.
Dr. Tax met the outgoing ambassadors, who include Ambassador Manfredo Fanti, who is the head of the European Union delegation to Tanzania, and the minister hails European Union for cooperation it continues to extend to Tanzania and assures Ambassador Fanti that Tanzania will continue to cooperate with the European Union at all times, especially in the trade and investment sector. And Ambassador Fanti thanks Tanzanian government for the cooperation he received during his service in Tanzania and promises that he will continue to be an ambassador of Tanzania in other countries. Likewise, Dr. Tax thanks the German ambassador to Tanzania, Rein Hess, and Norwegian ambassador Elisabeth Jacobsen for their work while representing their countries in the country.
Financial stakeholders from ENY Dar es Salaam say the proposed Tanzanian budget is relevant with the current situation following the government widening the tax base by including the small-scale mining sector and remove some taxes in other sectors that aim to stimulate economic activities. Here's the report prepared by Rehema Sebabili, read by Lulua Mohammed.
The financial stakeholders have made the statement in Dar es Salaam during the budget review of the proposed budget of 44.39 trillion for the fiscal year 2023-2024, presented by the Minister of Finance in Parliament on Thursday. EY Associate Partner Beatrice Melchiori says the government's intention to eliminate greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
On addition, we see the proposal to eliminate or to exempt VAT on aircraft, which will also have an impact, a major impact to the economy, because of course it also aligns with the current program, which it is being led by the president of the Royal Tour program, as when there will be no VAT charge on this aircraft in terms of the investment cost, it will also give the relief. And it is a welcoming area for the investment, and again to promote the tourism sector as well, because we are also looking forward to improve much on that. We have had the number of tourists that have been coming to the country, and taking into account that VAT will no longer be applicable under this item, then we expect even the that sector to do much better.
Furthermore, Vivian Kazi, a senior researcher at the Economic and Social Research Foundation, ESRF, applauds the government for making sure that the irrigation sector, oil and gas projects and other large projects are given priority and should be completed in collaboration with the private sector to lessen the burden on the government and to deliver economic development for the people.
There is a need also to prioritize various areas that can have multiplier effects at the end of the day. So the budget, the following 5 or 6 points we have provided here, especially on support to irrigation. Irrigation is critically important for the agricultural transformation. So priority should be given to support various irrigation schemes, making sure that we have that infrastructure ready for productivity of our agriculture sector. But also big projects like SGR and Nyerere Dam have to be completed, otherwise the cost of land completion will be very, very high.
123 books related to Japan had a foundation in 2008, aiming to promote the understanding of Japan through the donation of books written in English language to universities and libraries around the world. Fainda Ganga attended the handover ceremony and prepared this report.
The government of Japan is committed to promote human development and education across the globe. This can be witnessed through various projects that the government of Japan implements worldwide, like the Read Japan project, which today has enabled the Japanese ambassador to Tanzania, Yasushi Misawa, to hand over 123 books to the University of Dar es Salaam College of Education.
Today, I handed over the 123 English books, which is related to Japan, including politics and economy and culture and other areas. These books are also the donated by the Japan Foundations of Japanese NGOs and managed by the Tokyo Foundation for Policy Research. And Embassy of Japan was asked to recommend some universities which would be we found that the University of Education of Dar es Salaam would be the best university which can also accept it and make full use of these books. Because University of Education, JUSE, is a university which have a very close cooperations with Japan and with JICA. Within the university, there are also 5 professors and researchers who had experiences in studying in Japan.
Furthermore, the principal of the University of Dar es Salaam College of Education, Professor Stephen Maluka, cements on the significance of such initiatives to the education sector.
Our college received a donation from the government of Japan, 123 books, history, culture, and other diplomatic issues. So, receiving books is a great contribution to the development of the country. So these books are going to be used by our students and also our staff here at DUSE to advance knowledge in various disciplines which I have just mentioned.
And here, Professor Method Semiono, the Deputy Principal Planning, Finance and Administration, elaborates on how the bilateral ties between Japan and Tanzania have yielded lucrative results to Tanzania in various arenas.
These are just few called JICA, only because there was a project, I remember a water project from Japan and from JICA specifically. So this shows how Japan is very, very committed to assist Tanzania, and this time to our college.
Faida Ngaga, TBC News.
150 Sudanese medical students have opted for unrest in their home country, Sudan. Speaking with the media, the Muhimbili National Hospital Managing Director, Professor Mohamed Janabi, says the political stability in the country and the modern infrastructure in the hospital are the main reasons for the students to choose to join the university. Bakari Msuya has more details.
It is a day to welcome these students from Sudan who have opted to join Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Science, MUHAS. The students, who most of them look delighted to be here, are warmly welcomed by Muhimbili National Hospital Managing Director Professor Mohamed Janabi, who elaborates more on the reason behind for the students to opt to Tanzania.
For Tanzania, I think we all know, you and I know, we are one of the most stable countries politically in sub-Saharan Africa.
Professor Janabi has also spoken about the progress made by the prestigious hospital.
Because the expertise is here, the infrastructure is here. So this is the best place, I think, for them. And the good relationship between our two countries. Since independence, the founder of these two countries, Mwalimu Nyerere, and I think the Sudanese, the first president of Sudan, Nimeri. So they had all the reasons to come to us, and they are not regretting, as you have heard.
Some students say they have been having good experience since they moved to Tanzania.
I'm so happy to, honestly, the hospital is nice, the service is amazing, people are super welcoming and sweet, and I really would love to continue and to complete my education here.
Very nice experience. It's a very good opportunity to learn a lot here in Tanzania. We get to know more about the culture here, we get to know more people, we get to have more experience here in Tanzania. It's a very nice country, people are very welcoming, it's very peaceful.
This is the first group. The second one, which will include more than 400 students, is expected to be admitted to MUHAS soon. Bakari Msuya, TBC.
Tanzania Institute of Accountancy, through the Higher Education for Economic Transformation Project, HEAT project, is expected to update its teaching and learning curricula to ensure gender equality. Here's the report by Remy Yacinti, read by Apasia Ringo.
Curricula for higher education that has lasted for several decades in the country has been under scrutiny by some of the scholars and academicians, insisting that they have been denying opportunities to some groups in the society, including women and groups of people with disabilities. The Tanzania Institute of Accountancy, through the Higher Education for Economic Transformation Project, HEAT, is forced to take action.
Gender responsive.
They should consider both genders. Therefore, when giving examples, they should not degrade one side, and that is why we insist that they be considered in the curriculum. Also, the curriculum begins to be developed, considering what will be taught and the methods of assessment. Some of the Higher Education for Economic Transformation Project coordinators say that the upgrade of the curriculum will enable equality, especially in higher education.
Kwa mfano kuna issue za walemavu.
Most curricula are prepared without involving the disabled, but currently various groups such as pregnant women have been considered, so this curricula will greatly favor them.
Linkage issues. Also, there is an amount of money that we expect to implement that part, and we have signed in members, and we will launch a committee responsible for the management of all issues.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Dear viewers, don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Dorothy Murray and read by Alpha Wawa.
Kenya and the European Union (EU) have signed a trade deal as part of ongoing efforts to boost trade and economic ties between Kenya and the European Union. Speaking during the ceremony, President William Ruto of Kenya described the development as a major step in trade and investment relations between the EU and Kenya, saying it signals long-term commitment to ensure farmers of a predictable market. He says the government remains committed to the continuous implementation of the business climate reforms agenda and to sustain the country's position as a continental leader in institutional evolution. According to the Executive Vice President and EU Commissioner for Trade, Valdis Dombrovskis, the agreement is the key deliverable of the EU-Kenya strategic dialogue and will be directly supported by the implementation of the Global Gateway Africa-Europe Investment Package. The signing of the agreement on Monday marked the end of a negotiation process that kicked off in 2016. The Ugandan authorities say they have arrested 3 people in connection with an attack on students at the Rubiria school in the western town of Mpondwe. Reports say the arrests followed tip-offs from local who have been blamed for the attack and reportedly fled into the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. In another development,
please do not panic. Our children are safe, and they will remain safe. They are evil people, and they are trying to harm our children, but they will not manage.
And 9 Egyptian nationals suspected of involvement in sinking of trawler carrying boat. The men were arrested on suspicion of people smuggling and other offenses following the disaster, which saw at least 78 people killed. Hundreds more are still missing at sea. The suspects will be back in court tomorrow, when it will be decided whether they will remain in jail until the start of the trial.
That was international news. Sports news is up next. In sports news, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has awarded 10 million Tanzanian the CAF Africa Cup of Nations Cote d'Ivoire 2020. Speaking when handing over the prize, the government chief spokesperson Gerson Msigwa says President has given the cash prize to motivate the players before they take on Algeria in the last match encounter.
The President, because the tickets are available, should be with you at the times to make sure that you do well in this tournament and you are not facing any difficulties in the competition. So
Taifa Stars are second in Group F with 7 points, 3 points behind their rival Uganda, who lost by 2-1 to Algeria and remains with 3 points in third place, while Algeria have already qualified after securing 15 points. Tanzania needs only draw against Algeria to qualify for the third time to the CAF Africa Cup of Nations Cote d'Ivoire 2023, while Uganda must beat Niger away and pray for Taifa Stars to lose to Algeria. Tanzania local boxers Nasib Ramadhani and Lorraine Jaffet have started preparation camp ready for playback night fight scheduled to take place on July 15th in Dar es Salaam. Speaking in his camp, Nasib Ramadhani says that he's ready to fight his opponent Lorraine Jaffet, who also insists that he's fit enough to outclass his opponent and win the fight.
in short, what I can say is that I'm doing very well preparing, and I will use his mistakes to beat him up and win the fight. This time I'm not only showing my power punch against my opponent, but also to bring back quality fights like that of the former champion Rashid Matumla.
Prior to the main card fight between Abdallah Pazi, also known as Dulambabe versus Congolese. That was sports news, and now before we wind up, let us take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello viewers, my name is Jesse Makwata from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. This is 24 hours weather forecast starting from tonight. We expect wind to flow to be southeasterly for the entire coastal belt, from the south for Lake Nyasa and Tanganyika, while from the northern for Lake Victoria. In minimum temperature, we expect the lowest minimum temperature to be experienced, especially over Njombe region, with the lowest minimum temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. For tomorrow, we expect Kagera, Gate and Mara to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas and sun period. While over Tanga, Highs of Unguja and Pemba, we expect light rain showers over a few areas. In the rest part of the country, we expect just a partly cloudy condition and sun period. And now let's have the next 4 days weather forecast. Dear viewers from TMA, that is what we have for today. Thanks for watching and we wish you a good night.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Agnes Tuniga, and good night.